Welcome to Where There's a Wheels.
There's a play.
I'm Ian, your mid-complexity casual gamer.
I'm Stacey, I'm your non-gamer gamer.
And we're here with another Initial Impressions of Speedcicleta. On your marks, get set, pedal. In this game coming to you from Sapien 8 Games, designed by Michael Krell. Plays 2 to 5 players in 10 to 90 minutes. Race bicycles through a randomly generated map filled with twists, turns, and surprises as you vie for the title of the world's best bicyclist, all from the comfort of your living room. But this isn't your typical bike race. You'll need to dodge obstacles and outsmart unexpected hazards. Will you conquer the treacherous track and emerge as the cycling superstar, or end up tangled in a mess of spokes and regret? The finish lines awaits. So strap on your helmet, oil up those gears, and let the pedal-powered pandemonium begin. Theme. I think the theme in this one comes through. You're bike racing. You are facing all sorts of hazards that you come across, from animals to pedestrians to vehicles, and you're also doing a little take that with some sabotaging the other person.
Yes, you are. The theme comes across for me very well. I used to bike a lot when I was a lot younger, and you would come across everything. This one has moose, squirrels, fox, deer, pedestrians, school buses, cars, and trucks.
Multiple vehicles, yeah.
Yes, and they all get in your way, and they all can just make your day good or make your day bad, depending on how you're playing. So I give the theme an A+.
Components. Components of the game. This is, I believe, a prototype copy of this. I don't think this is the final version. It might be, but this you have all these tiles which have different track parts on them that you would put together, which we'll show you in a little bit. And then you have your different chunky.
That's the bus.
That's the bus. You've got a truck here. You've got some animals. Let's go down to the table for this because I think we got a better view here. So you can see we've got our cards. We've got our track pieces, our road pieces that you put together on these tiles. You've got your little bicycle meeples here. Bicycle meeples. Then you've got all your vehicles, your pedestrians, and your animals. So the components in this one are very well. I don't know off the top of my head. I can't remember if this was a prototype or the final copy. I know this is coming to Kickstarter here in a couple weeks from when we film this. So this might be final, but since it's coming to Kickstarter, I think it's probably prototype. But even this is some pretty good quality.
I agree. I do like the chunky wooden pieces that you're going to be moving. I think that they're very well made. It's going to take a lot to break those bad boys. Like Ian said, these are very good quality as well. Hard to bend those as well. The cards, they all came in plastic sleeves for us. So I haven't actually touched the cards to figure out what. Yeah, those are pretty decent cards as well.
Yeah.
So seems like everything's pretty good quality.
Yeah, I think the components are really good. So, moving on. Artwork.
I think the artwork is very minimal.
It is. This is basically the artwork. I mean, the back of the cards.
But everything in the artwork goes towards the theme of the game. So they work hand in hand in this game. Everything is bicycle related. I like the fall off your bike one. I don't remember where that one was, but the artwork, like I said, is very minimalistic, but
the bicycle crash.
Yeah, it just fits in with the theme of the game. The tiles, you're just racing through
on the road.
On the road in the forest, it looks like. So there's not a lot on the tiles. And again, I don't know if that's just because this is just a demo copy or if this, you know, if it's
I don't
how
think
it's going to be.
since it's coming to Kickstarter, I think this is probably a prototype. I forgot to ask. I'm guessing this is a prototype copy.
So that could change.
But we will
I
link the Kickstarter. I know it launches mid-April.
Okay.
So next week, I think, from when we post this. We will link that in the description as well. But I mean, even just this is pretty nice looking.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very minimal right now.
Yep.
Other than this, there's not. It's I do appreciate just the solid color background with just very simple stuff on it. So that is nice.
It doesn't take away from what the theme of the game is. It's just very straight to the point and matter of fact, which I appreciate.
It kind of reminds me of street signs.
I think that's what they're supposed to be.
I think they're probably that's what they're going for, some sort of street sign.
Absolutely.
Look. On to the setup. Okay, to set up the game, you put your start tile down, and then you randomly draw 12 tiles that have different roads on them. So you have some straights, you have some curves, you have some windy stuff. Each one of these spaces, we'll talk about a little bit, is a different space to move past. You have intersections. Some of them have 4, some of them have 5 spaces on them. But you just place it however you want, and then you put the finish line down. There's a whole stack of game tiles. There's 30 different ones, and you only play with 12 of them each time. So there's a lot of different those. You place all the meeples and stuff in reach of everybody. You give everybody 1, but with a 2-player game, we get 2 of these nice little player aids because there's only 2 of us, so we always grab 1 so we can see both sides at once. And then you place your bicyclist meeples on the start side. Each person gets 6 cards, and there's the start of the game, or there's the setup. Right. In Speedcicleta, you are going to be playing cards down to do a variety of different things. So let's just take 6 cards each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can see I have these different cards. There's a lot of different types of cards. You have your remedy cards, which are the dark blue. You have your conditions or afflictions, I believe is what they are being called now. Afflictions are things that you can put on other people. You have these orange cards, which are called obstacles, and these are played right away, and they do some different things. You have move cards. Here's another obstacle. And so those are the different, and of course we didn't draw one of the safety cards because there's only 5 of them. There we go. There's a safety card. So there's the other card, just so you can see what it is. There's safety cards. Okay, this kind of turquoise background color. So on your turn, you are going to draw a card off the top. Okay, and then you are going to play a card. Now you can either play a card to move. You could play a condition in front of somebody else. So this is bicycle crash. So Stacey would either have to on her turn do something, or this has to rotate 4 times. Or because I have these in my hand, I need to immediately play the obstacles. So this obstacle, and I've got 2 of them, so I can choose which one I want to play this round, which one I want to play next turn. This one says, place a bus at the start of the track. Now, I don't know if I want to do that right now, but so I would place a bus at the start of the track, and the bus at the beginning of every one of my turns moves 3 spaces. And I'm going to zoom out just a little bit because I forgot to take into account some space for us when I did this. So let's move these out of the way just so I see here. Okay, so I played that. That's my turn. And then I actually have too many cards now somehow.
Because you took one out of the pile.
Oh, I took one out of the pile to show, and then I drew one. So let's put this back.
Okay.
So that would be my turn. I don't get to move on this turn because I did not take a move card. So if I were to do that, I would play that. You always then will have 6 cards at the end of your turn. So if you play these, you do it right away. The vehicles all start at the beginning. They will move at the beginning of whoever's turn it was who played it. A certain number of spaces. The bus moves 3 spaces. The truck moves 4. The car moves 5. If it passes you, you move back a space. So you want to make sure it doesn't pass you at all, but at most only once. The animal cards are another thing that you place, and there's 4 different animals, and they go a certain number of spaces ahead of you. So this one says, place 4 spots ahead of the trailing cyclist. So let's just say that we are here and here, and let's just take the bus off for now. So Stacey, or the yellow would be the trailing cyclist. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be 4 spaces ahead. In order to move past that, you are required to have 3 or more move spots in order to pass it. Okay, there's no other penalty for that. If there is a pedestrian on the road, it actually takes 1 movement away from you. So in order to go past this pedestrian, I actually need to move more than 2. And what you can do is you can, what they say is trigger or queue up your movement. So I can play a 2 now. Next round I can play another one. I could keep doing that until I can actually move past them. On this person's turn, whoever places the meeple, they move it back 1 every turn. So now this meeple's there, so a 3 could get me past them. So that's how you play the animals and the vehicles and the workers. So those are your obstruction or your obstacles that come up during the game. Then you have the conditions. So do you have any conditions in your hand? Okay, so Stacey could play a condition, a yellow. The yellow cards, like I said, those go against it. So I have a busted wheel. So I can continue with my multi-tool. So if I have a multi-tool, on my turn, I would get to play a multi-tool. Otherwise, I have to rotate this, and I don't get to move. And you get it?
Every turn he has to rotate
Every turn I have to rotate it if I don't get a multi-tool. As soon as it comes back around, it goes into the discard pile and goes away. So we have our deck. We have our discard pile. So on your turn, you draw a card to get up to 7. Then you're going to play a card. And then so first thing you do is you move your obstacles. So if this bus is here, he's going to move 3 spaces every time. 1, 2, 3. And he's going to stop at the stop sign. So you would move any obstacles, however many it says. You draw a card, you play a card, and then if you played a move card, you're going to move your bicycle. And then rotate any unresolved conditions. Or instead of step 2, drawing a card, you could discard as many cards as you want and draw that many back so you can get back to 6, and then that's your turn. So that is the movement action, that is the conditions action, that is the obstacle action. There is one more action, and that is these cards. And these cards are safeties. So these cards you can play at any time. You can play them ahead of time or later. So if I played this shock absorber, and that means I can't have busted wheels. So
I don't have a busted wheel.
You don't have a busted wheel. So let's find a busted. Oh, here, right here. Oh. So Stacey could not play this on me because I have a shock absorber. Okay, I'm gonna move this just a little bit so we can see this a little better. Okay. So Stacey couldn't play this on me because I have the shock absorber and no busted wheel. Now I could play this later as well. If Stacey played that on me and it was like here and I were to get this later, I can play this to get rid of it and this stays. So I keep that in front of me and then that goes into the discard pile. The cars move at the beginning of the turn every time. The animals stay where they are, and you need a certain number of movement points to go past them. The walkers, the pedestrians, they move back. When you get to the stop sign, this counts as 3 spaces. Pedestrians ignore this. Animals can't go on the intersection, and vehicles would also stop here. So this would actually need 3 movements, and you can't go 2 because you can't actually stop in the middle of the intersection. So you would have to go 3. There are some other safety cards that, let's see here, cycling, let's see, animal behaviorist, right of way, and is that it? Are those the 2 special ones? So most of these safety cards allow you to kind of not have penalties put against you or the conditions put against you. The right-of-way is a little different. The right-of-way ignores effects from pedestrians and stop signs. So if you have the right-of-way card, that means you don't have to stop at a stop sign, and this tile only counts as 2 spaces. It also means that if there's a pedestrian, you don't lose a move. So if I were to have a 3, I don't lose that movement space for the pedestrian being on the board in front of me. The other one is the animal behaviors, and the animal behaviors allows you to freely pass animals whenever you want. Okay, so you don't have to have like a 3 or 2, a 3, a 4, or 5 total movement. You just get to move past them because you're an animal behaviorist. You play until one person hits the finish line, and that's it. The vehicles do move every turn, so once they are off, once they hit the finish line, they're off the board and their card goes back in the discard pile. It could get shuffled in. The pedestrians move back one each space, and so once they're off as well. The animals stay on until certain things pass them. The moose will only leave the board if the bus passes it. The deer if the truck or the bus. The fox if the car, or I think if the bicyclist does, maybe. The squirrel moves if anything passes it. The fox may be only the car because it's scared. So anything that goes by it is going to. So the deer only when the truck or bus. Yeah. Okay. So the smaller it is, the more things it will be scared away by. Okay. And I think that is everything. So you play cards, so either move, do some conditions, afflictions. Sorry, afflictions is what they are called now. Against your opponents, or to do some safety to get rid of the afflictions, or do some obstacles, put some obstacles out, or put or use a remedy to help you get rid of an affliction. Replayability.
I think this has a ton of replayability just because there are the 30 different game tiles that you can play, that you can put out, and you can put them in any configuration that you want. So you pull out the 12, and if you want to just switch them around and do whatever,
Yeah, you can put stuff however you want to put it. You
and
can
that
start with a
depends
stop
on,
sign right away.
yeah, depends on how you do it, really. On the replayability of this, I think, on how long it's going to take you, because there's more than one stop sign in the bundle. So if you pull out, a couple stop signs or whatever, you're going to be able to have a different configuration every single time that you play this. And with the way that the cards come up and how you can play those against other people, oh my gosh, there's just a ton of different variations
Yeah.
of this that you can play. So I think that the replayability is quite nice on this.
Yeah, like Stacey said, just these tiles alone, you're gonna have a ton of different ways that you can do this and have this finish. And because some of them are one space, some of them are two spaces like this, some of them are three spaces, some are four, and some are five. If you get a bunch that have five, that just makes the game a little bit longer. There's also some different modes, which I'll go over here from the manual. So like if you want a quicker game, you can actually just set it up without any intersection tiles, and you can take out the obstacles. Maybe you just want a quick racing game. You can take out the obstacles. You can reduce the track length to 8, and that you could play in like 10 minutes, they say.
Yep.
If you want a long and winding road, it says you can remove the intersection tiles, straights, and squiggles, but leave everything else. So basically, only squiggly, only windy roads. So you can have a big windy road, and those are all 3, 4, and 5. So that's going to make your road longer. That could play, it says, as little as 30 minutes, but as many as 60. Then there's one that they say from dusk till dawn, where you could put all of the tiles in it. Ooh. And they said that could play up to 2 hours. So you could put every single tile in that you would have to get through. So the fact that even just with 12 tiles, it's a lot of replayability. But then they have 3 different variations. Maybe you don't have a lot of time, but you want to play and be like, hey, let's get a quick game in. Let's just play a quick one in like 10 minutes. You take out the obstacles, you take out the obstacles, you take out the intersections, you just play, real quick. So you got a quick route, and that is replayable. Depending on how much take that you do and how many times you attack someone, and have them stop and have to have like 4 turns or keep drawing. That's a lot of replayability. So yeah, I think this game, just because of the 3 different variations, the number of different tiles you have, the way that cards come together, the way that cards come out, depending on where and when the obstacles are going to come out. I think you got a ton of replayability in this game.
Yep. I agree on that one.
Final thoughts. Let's get back to the big. Okay, final thoughts on this one.
Thoughts. I like this game. At first, I didn't know what to think of it at first, but after we played it the second time and we understood all of the rules and everything, I actually grew to like it. The only thing that I do wish that it had was more of the movement cards. For 2 players, I believe that some of these remedy cards should be removed because I had nothing but a handful
which ones?
of
The blue, the dark blues?
The blue
ones are, yeah, those are the remedies. Okay.
Because I had nothing but a handful of remedies, and so I had to discard my whole hand just to get another whole hand of remedy cards. And it doesn't seem like there's enough of the move cards. But I made it work. We reshuffled the deck. I got luckier when we reshuffled the deck, and I had to apologize to Ian because then all I had was the yellow,
the opposite, or the conditions, or the afflictions that she kept up on. I mean, I was like, ugh. So I couldn't move forever.
Then I had a whole hand of nothing but afflictions, and so I had to discard some of those so that I could try and get some more move cards. But it seems like there aren't that many move cards as compared to the rest of the cards. So we had to reshuffle even with 2 players a couple times to get through the entire game so that we could move and get past the animals, get past the vehicles, so that we didn't keep moving backwards. But other than that, I actually enjoyed the game.
Yeah, I got to toss up on this one. I'm not. There's things about this game I really like. I love the racing aspect of it. I like the fact that, I mean, the fact that there's so many obstacles. If this was an actual bike race, I think it's a little weird that you have all these pedestrians on the road and like the cars that are still driving by you during a bike race. Although we have driven past some in Colorado on bike races, and the animals. So the obstacles aren't a huge part. I think for me, the take that part in a bicycle race is a little odd of a mechanism for me. First of all, we are not take that type people. We don't like attacking each other in games personally. I think in a game about bicycle racing, I think it kind of is a little odd mechanism that, hey, I'm giving you a flat tire, or hey, I'm wrecking your tire, or here, I'm making you purposely crash. Like, it's a bike race, but you're attacking each other, which...
That's why you have the first aid kit, so you can fix yourself and get back on the road.
Right. I just think the take that part is just an... To me, personally, it's a little bit of an odd mechanism to put in a game about bicycle racing. And like Stacey said, I think the ratio of cards is a little off, especially in a 2-player game. I think like more than half of the deck is not a movement. And I understand that the game is about to take that and about the, getting kind of the remedies for different things, and it just seems very skewed towards that, and you are constantly having to do everything else but race in the game. There's a lot of times you're like, okay, well, I can't do anything now for 4 turns unless I can get a certain card. So do I discard a bunch of cards so I can get more than one at a time? Do I just keep taking one and just not do anything basically for 4 turns? A lot of times it feels like you're just waiting to do stuff a lot. So it kind of slows the game down a little bit. Like I said, I love the idea of the game. There's a lot about the game I like. I think to take that element of it is a little weird in the game about bicycle racing, that you are purposely attacking your bicycle opponents. The obstacles I'm fine with because you will see obstacles in bicycle racing things. I do think the ratio of movement cards to other cards is a little off. You have, and there's a lot of things that there's a lot of cards, like there's 6 cards total that can offset your condition or your affliction. So there's 5 which ones? There's 5 of the remedies. I gotta double check which one is it. Okay. There's 5 of the There's 5 of the remedies, and there's 1 safety card for every 3 affliction cards. So you have 6 cards that can affect the 2. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a toss up on this one. I like the idea of it. I like the bike racing part of it. The obstacles part I'm completely fine with. The take that part of it, I'm not a fan of in this game. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not a fan of the take that part where you are purposely attacking each other. I think that the afflictions part would make a lot more sense is if you drew the card and the take that was complete of it. If you drew the card and it affected you, like if you drew a flat tire, you've got a flat tire. That makes a lot more sense to me personally. It would take that out of it. Now I do like the game enough where maybe we'll pick it up later on, and I could see us making that change. Where it's like, hey, instead of having to take that, the affliction affects you. Like if you draw a flat tire, you've got a flat tire. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on it. I would say the majority of the game I really enjoy. The idea of it, the bicycle racing part of it, the racing part of it, the obstacles are fine because they make sense. You may see animals out there on a bicycle. You may have some cars going by things. We've driven past races over some passes here in Colorado before. You might have some pedestrians that walk out into the road as people are racing. So all of that I'm completely fine with. The one thing that I don't like about this game, and I'm just gonna say it like I said, is to take that. It does not make to me it doesn't make sense in this type of game to have it take that where you are purposely making your opponents crash, break their wheel, or have a flat tire. It just seems like a weird mechanism in a bicycle racing game where you are purposely attacking someone. So that's my thoughts on it.
But if you like take that games,
Yes.
this might be right up your road.
If you like take that games, then yeah. If you don't like take that games, you might still like this one. And like I said, you could easily take these and say, hey, when the person who draws a flat tire, you are affected by it instead of giving it to somebody else. I think that would make it I think that would make it a better game for us personally because we are not take that type people unless you absolutely have to. And even then, it's really hard for us to do that to each other. But I mean, that could be an easily little house rule is, you know what? It makes a lot more sense. Hey, I got a flat tire. Okay, now I've got to offset this somehow because I got a flat tire. But yeah. Any last thoughts on it?
Well, the only other thing that I wanted to comment on was the rule book. We did not cover the rule book. This is probably one of the best set up rule books that I've seen in a while.
Especially for a prototype copy.
Yeah.
Before Kickstarter. We've been doing quite a few free crowdfunding things, and this is set up very well.
So
very well.
I do like the rule book with exactly how it flows to big type so that people with older eyes can still see it.
Quick reference on the back. It has everything you want to see in a rule book. It has the components. It has 3 pages of components with nice pictures for them all so that you can see what everything is. They show the fronts of them all, your setup, and then it gives you a quick overview of your turn, and then it goes into more detail about each one of your actions on your turn. So yeah, I do think this rule book is really good. Yeah.
So it comes in a small box with a lot of replayability, minimal art that just lets you play the game. There's not a whole lot to sit there and
just patchwork size probably. Patchwork maybe a little smaller than patchwork size. Little fatter, but patchwork S size for those of you that know that.
The pieces are good quality. I wouldn't mind checking this out and seeing what the final copy is going to be when it is.
Definitely gonna follow this. Definitely gonna follow this one on Kickstarter. Definitely, yeah, like I said, definitely following this one on Kickstarter to see what is added or what isn't. The big huge pieces, are a little tough on the track. They kind of block a lot of space. It's kind of tough to see. So I mean, like these big pieces are a little tough to do.
But I get it. Moose are big.
Tear on the track. Yeah, yeah. The moose here is like bigger than the bus.
If you've ever seen a moose,
yeah,
they're big animals. They're
not usually bigger than buses. Not usually bigger than buses.
You've never seen a Colorado moose.
Oh yes, I have. But anyway, I think that is everything I need to say about it.
Yeah, I think we've covered it.
Okay. Let us know what you think about this game from our initial impressions. Have you heard of it? Are you going to follow it? We will link it in the description below. Once again, this has been Where There's a Will,
There's a Play.
My name's Ian.
I'm Stacey.
And we'll see you next time.
At the table.